So welcome to the show, Mizanur.
Thanks a lot, Dai, for the invitation. And we tried, I think, last time as well. Didn't work, but I'm happy that I'm here.
Yeah, I'm very glad that like you finally made it, and like I'm very surprised by the fact that you tell everyone Dai.
Yeah, I know the difference between Dai and Bhai, but I just continue to do that.
Yeah,
it's a respect.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, but we usually like we what you call as a Dai is like for the
big brother. Yeah, I know.
Yes. And like you call everyone Dai, which very fascinates me.
No, because I call Amit, then Kapil, then Bhai.
Okay. So how is Nepal treating you?
Amazing. So Nepal is kind of like becoming a second home now. This year, I think my second time I'm in Nepal, and not the last time. Hopefully, I'll be back in November.
November again.
Yeah, for trekking.
You're at least traveling like 3 times a year to Nepal.
At least two to 3 times.
Yeah, definitely Nepal is hosting you very well.
Yeah, I love the Nepali community, the people, everyone. So friendly, the hospitality, the warmth that I actually get is amazing. So that's why I return every time.
Nice to know. Like, I hope like you'll be coming back again.
Yeah.
So like, Mizanur, like just for the audience, like could you please introduce yourself and what you do?
Okay. So my name is Mizanur Rahman. I'm born and brought up in Bangladesh. I live in Dhaka. I am a software architect by profession. I'm doing software development for the last 20 years professionally. And currently I'm involved with one of a US startup and building a team in Bangladesh for that particular startup, working there as a head of engineering. Besides that, I'm involved with the community. I'm part of the Agile Bangladesh community. I'm the founder of Agile Bangladesh community. And also I am one of the lead contributor of the biggest, programming community in Asia that called PHP Experts in Bangladesh. So we have roughly around 30,000 members over there. So I've been doing that since 2004.
Oh, nice.
So that's what I do. I build software. I teach people about Agile and Scrum, and also build teams. And if I get time, I do write books as well. So I have 3 published books so far internationally. So yeah, that's all about me.
Oh, that's really nice to hear back. I checked in your profile and like there's a very long history that you like hold, but I'm really thankful for the work that we've been doing at the community, as well as like to the contribution that you've been doing in Nepal. I know you have been coming to Nepal every year for Regional Agile Scrum. Like I think the first time we met was in 2018.
Yes.
And then like you obviously you came back in 2019 as well.
Yeah. I was there in 2019, just before the pandemic.
Yeah, just 20 and 21 got delayed, but I know you were virtually there on 21 as well, and you were back again. So I'm very thankful for that. But what keeps you going on all of these community effort that you've been doing here, or not just here, like even in Bangladesh and other regions?
Yeah, I think some of us are privileged, whether it's the capability to actually move from one point to another, or having some extra appetite for learning new things, and also the knowledge part. So I believe that what happens if I die today, it goes with me, right? Yeah. So why not share with it others? So they always say that knowledge is like like water in the sea. No matter how much you actually take it out, it never ends. So I believe that if we share the knowledge and build community around it, it will somehow impact others as well. So it's I think in Nepal as well you call it karma, right?
Yeah.
So I believe in that. Though I'm a Muslim, we are not allowed to believe in that. But if you think that way, I believe in that. Like if you do something good to someone, that will come back to you somehow.
Yeah.
So sharing of knowledge, inspiring people. I do it everywhere, whether it's in Nepal, in Bangladesh, or say India, or any other country. I try to actually radiate those, information, the positivity, the, ambition, inspiration to those young people.
Yeah, that's really inspirational because like but the core thing is like when you share more, like you tend to learn more.
Yep.
And I believe in that as well. And I was very active at the community and like the more I shared, the more I learned.
Yep.
So I think the community can take that as a inspiration and like keep on sharing because the more you share, the more you learn, and it's going to be beneficial for your own career growth, right?
True, because the way technology is moving at this moment, it's not possible for us to know everything. So, community events like this, gatherings, conferences actually gives us a way to learn from others. Now, there are two things. One, you can actually learn by doing yourself. Another is learn from others. So I think the second one is actually faster.
Yeah, true.
Because that particular person has gone through all the hard work to learn that thing, the struggles and everything. So when you hear from them or learn from them, that's actually much better. So that's actually what I believe. And these conferences are actually also a networking place. That's another part I love, meeting new people. Like as you said, we met in the regional conference 2018.
Yes, sure.
I met Amit, Prakash Dai, Pawan Dai, I think back in 2016, the global conference in India. That's where we actually build the relationship, and it's already been 6+ years.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy and thankful that we actually went to the conference. So this is how we actually build networks, and through them, now Nepali community knows us. So that's actually something positive.
Yeah, and I see many Nepalese going to Bangladesh and other regions for regional Agile conference, and as well as Bangladeshi speakers coming here. Like, you're not the only one that came here in Nepal. Like, there were other speakers as well, and that's a community network that we're building around.
And that's actually what I'm trying to do as a leader. They say that leader creates leaders, not followers. So what I'm trying to do is that create more speakers from Bangladesh, more coaches, trainers from Bangladesh, because I believe there is a lack of people who are kind of like want to come out and say things or teach people or help people to grow. By region wise, I think it's same in Nepal as well. In Bangladesh, we are kind of like introvert. We do not want to come out of our shell. We are comfortable whatever we are doing.
Yeah.
So I am trying to actually break that shell and bringing them up. Like this time as well, I didn't submit any paper. The reason is that I wanted to actually have more Bangladeshi speaker, because when I am here, I already have taken one slot. Yeah. And I have spoken to so many conferences, not only Agile and Scrum. I talked in PHP Asia conference as well. And in Bangladesh, almost all the developers conference, I have something. So I do not want to actually take one person's slot. Let them opportunity to actually learn, have the confidence that they can also speak. And that is this is actually what we are doing now. And I'm not sure when next time you'll see me speaking in Nepal again, because I have no plan.
Okay. But that's really great of you. Like, you're giving others opportunity to get out and like speak in the conferences. But what I've seen and like what I've understood as of now is, like, when people try to go out in conferences and speak, they get really reluctant about like speaking in public spaces, because they are not quite used to that.
Yep.
Probably they might be speaking at like 10 developers in their team, but like they are not used to speak at 100 people at a mass. But did you feel that as well in the new speakers?
Yeah, as a new speaker, I also had that issue. Like, we always kind of like being afraid of being judged, like what people will think if I say something wrong. For me, once you actually overcome that particular part, you think like nobody's there. I'm actually talking to myself, or I'm talking to my team members who's actually sitting beside me all the time. So I don't have any fear of being judged, or if I say something wrong, they will not judge me or say something to me. So once you actually get into that point, it becomes easier. I think when I started debating in school, I used to read script. I couldn't actually look at the front of the class to other students. I used to read script, and then my teacher's like, okay, first day you read script, fine. Next day, why don't you just memorize it and say? So this is how it started. And when I started public speaking, I used to speak in front of 20 people, 50 people. And I think the highest I spoke in front of 1,200 people. Oh, nice. So it's like a developer conference. So if you feel like you're being judged, then you have some sort of fear, like, okay, even sometimes I also get that. If my audience is really very high profile audience, like they're the best in the tech, they know what I'm going to speak, that also come to me as well. Like, I also have some, reluctance, okay, maybe I should not say that. So, but once you actually get over it, just be confident.
And also, like, if you have the feeling that you learn from the mistakes that you do in the previous conferences or whatever you did, like, it's not just going to help you in public speaking, it's going to help the rest of your life. Yes, right?
Everywhere. And I think you, as a person or as an engineer, whatever you call it, we should not be afraid of failure. Yeah. We can't be, successful 100% time. You have to fail somewhere, whether it's a small failure or big failure, you have to fail. I failed 1,000 times. if not million times. And every time I fail, I actually learn from it and make sure like I do not make the same mistake in the next step. So if you have that, I believe that is the way to go. And many companies actually have adopted that culture, that if you are not failing, that means you are not learning enough.
True. So like we have a very good, like we tend to follow that culture as well in our company. Like if you fail, no problem, we'll fix it next time, but it's not a very big deal.
Yeah, but one thing we have to remember, like failing on the same point or, having the same mistake again and again, that is something we should try to avoid. We might not have the 100% avoidance at the first go, but we should try to avoid that.
Yeah, well, it's a continuous improvement thing. Yeah. So talking about your career side, like I see you travel a lot.
Yep.
Someday you are in US, someday you're in Thailand, someday you're in like Bangladesh, someday you are like just traveling here and there.
Yep.
Like you have that digital nomad lifestyle, like everyone wishes that they have. Like how did you get into that?
So at the beginning of my career, I joined the traditional software company. So I luckily I joined one of the best company when I started back in 2002. After that, I moved to another company. Then in my third job, in 6 years' time, I switched to 2 jobs. And when I was in the third job, after 1 year, I decided like I'm not liking the local culture, like how managing the team. So I should be getting into freelancing. So I started doing freelancing, and eventually I ended up in a remote job. So that's how I actually work, and still I'm having a remote job. So I work with a US company. So head office in Seattle, but I work from Bangladesh or anywhere in the world. As long as I have an internet connection and laptop, I'm fine.
You're completely fine.
So it doesn't matter like where I am at this moment. As long as I manage the time zone, like it's their time zone, I'm actually working. So saying that these remote jobs actually gives me lots of flexibility. Like I can work from anywhere in the world, and traveling is kind of like my passion. So I have a target to complete all the countries in the world if I'm alive in next 5 years, inshallah. But I have so far completed 30 countries. So that's kind of like rolling.
Yeah, I wish you all the best on that. I also have a very like bucket list thing that I want to at least travel 100 plus countries. I've not yet decided to travel all the countries yet, but yeah, I've decided at least 100 plus countries, and hopefully I can do that within the next 10 or 15 years. I have a very long duration, so than you. So I hope you all the best. But I have a very like this is a very personal experience for me. Like when I was traveling, like you and I both, like we hold a very weak passport, unfortunately. And like, did you have any issues with the like the immigration and stuff like other countries?
Yeah, we face a lot, especially I'm not sure the passport color of Nepal. So in Bangladesh, it's green.
It's also
green. So whenever they say green passport, they are really, kind of like their eyes lit and they are interested, like what's happening. I get it a lot, especially when I'm in US. Though they know my family is in US, every time I go in the immigration, they check my visa and they'll tell me, okay, come inside. And they will keep me 1 hour in the room, just checking my background, everything, why I'm here, where I'm going, what is all about. They will not ask any question, just keep you there for 1 hour, 1.5 hours. And after that, they will say, okay, you can go. Nothing else.
Nothing else.
And typically, if you are in Europe, like I travel Europe as well, even in Singapore, Japan, I have the same experience. Like when I tell them, like, yeah, I'm here for conference as a speaker, and it's like, oh, people come here for work or something, and you're coming here as a speaker. That they can actually digest. Even in Japan, just before the pandemic, that happened. They actually told me to wait almost like 1.5 hours because they verified with the organizer that yes, I'm supposed to come and everything. Call my hotel, and if you are having a US passport, nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
Yeah, we feel discriminated, but that's how the whole world is. We can't help.
But yeah, I'm very surprised that you're still like taking that with very
I'm normal with it, and people sometimes, even in Bangladesh immigration, you face lots of questions, like why you're going here, what do you do? And when I tell them, yeah, I have a software company and I'm also a consultant, work remotely, and they actually get surprised, and they always ask me like, because I think this year this is my 5th trip. And again, I'm planning to go another trip in next month. So every month I will have something, 1 or 2 trip. So immigration almost like kind of like get bored with me. Like they check my passport and it's like, oh, you came 1 week earlier. You are again, going up to somewhere. I said, yeah.
Because I tried to live that digital nomad lifestyle for a while, and I got so like for me immigration is the most stressful part. Not just like not I'm not talking about other countries first. Like I'm talking about Nepal itself. Like where are you going? Like what's your document? this that. Like I'm like sweating a lot. Then I reach out the country, and then they are also asking questions and everything. But yeah, but still it didn't hold me back, and it's not holding you back as well. But yeah, we'll get through that. But I really big curiosity, and how did you manage with all of those?
Yeah, it's a similar culture. I told you, like Nepal, Bangladesh, we have a similar culture, mindset, everything. So you can expect the same thing.
Yeah, but I wish you all the best for your upcoming travels, and hope I can travel as well.
Yeah.
So on the other hand, like you are also a Agile trainer.
Yep.
You've been training a lot of developers and managers. So could you just give a little bit of background on how did you get started on that, and like what do you actually train on those trainings?
So I got started with Agile back in 2006, and I completed my Certified Scrum Master course in 2007, and that's what got me into Scrum thing. I started liking it. So what I did is that since I liked the topic, I studied more, and then I decided to actually teach other people in local community for free. Mm-hmm. So far in Bangladesh, I think I have trained more than 2,500 people for free.
Oh.
So in the beginning, people didn't understand what is Agile or what is Scrum. So what I used to do is that invite them free, no cost, for a whole day training. And I used to, provide them lunch and coffee and everything from my own pocket, just to create the momentum. And right now, it's really popular in Bangladesh. So for me, I think I'm not fully satisfied with how it's going, but yeah, at least we started a movement and it's happening, and people are more curious to know what's that. But from that particular, community activity, teaching people what to do, how to do it, then I decided like, okay, since I'm doing it for free, why not we think about, professionally? Because when you actually try to give everything for free, people tend to,
take advantage
of it, or they don't take it seriously. Like, since it's free, okay, what's the point? So then I thought like, okay, since I'm an engineer, Scrum is a pretty beautiful framework. Agile is I believe in agility. So I don't do Agile, I am Agile. That's actually what I believe. So for me, then I was discussing how can we implement this Agile mindset in engineering. Then I came across with extreme programming and other practices. And that actually kind of like well suited me, because that's what I do on day-to-day basis, write code, build software. And then I decided to become a Certified Scrum Developer Trainer from Scrum Alliance. So I became Certified Scrum Trainer in 2016. I think 69, yeah. So almost 5 years I have been training people to Agile engineering practices, extreme programming, DevOps, SRE. So these are my core topic, other than basic Scrum and Agile. So that's how I actually started. So right now I'm taking classes in Nepal, Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, and USA, online everywhere. But these are the physical classes usually I take. So my target is to actually make Agile and Scrum training affordable to everyone. So if you are in US, you are paying say $1,500, $2,000 for 2-day classes. Yeah. In India, you are paying roughly around $400, $450 for 2 days class. Nepal, I think almost similar, 300. Mm-hmm. In Bangladesh, we are also having less than 300 at this moment. So we are trying to keep it affordable to everyone, and that's what we are trying to do. And that actually what brings me Nepal multiple times. Like whenever I'm here, somehow I end up taking a class or session.
So when is the next time like you are conducting a training in Nepal?
I'm not sure. That I have to talk with my partner Amit. So Amit manages everything over here. So if there is a demand, like people wants a class, I'll be here anytime. So it may be before September if there is a demand.
Yeah, I've been waiting to attend one of your classes. So
Inshallah. We ddid the last management 3.0. It was actually not planned. I was coming anyhow to Nepal for my New Year and just to take some pictures of the Everest range. And when I came here, it's like, yeah, we have to take a class. Okay, fine. I thought like 10 people, 15 people. We ended up with 30 plus people. I said, okay. So that's a surprise. I don't know why, but Nepali people like those classes. So I think that will also bring me Nepal multiple times this year. I have a feeling.
Hopefully. So on the other hand, like when you talk about Agile and Scrum, like what I've seen is like there is a lot of confusion on what exactly Agile is, what exactly Scrum is. It's a very naive question that I'm asking right now, but like could you please share some light like to the audience who wants to understand what actually Agile is and what exactly Scrum is, like how does it work hand in hand, like if you from the expert itself.
So for me, if I tell you what Agile is, say you want to go to the top of Mount Everest, what will you do?
I'll first go to the local airport, then I'll go on to the whatever base camp.
Then base camp 1, 2, 3, then 4,
yes,
right?
True.
But before that, you have to actually have a mindset that you really want to go that.
Yeah.
Because you need to work on your fitness. It's not like like we walked almost like 5 floor right now, and we are out of breath.
Yeah, true.
Now think we are, climbing the top of the world, and we don't have any preparation. Then what will happen? We will not make it, and it's dangerous, right? Mm-hmm. We might die. So if you think that way, you need to have a mindset and you need to have some sort of preparation to make it happen. So you need to work on your agility, your fitness, your breathing practices, whatever you need. So in software development, we also need that, or anywhere in project management, real life, we need that particular part. We need a mindset to achieve something. And in order to achieve that, we need to actually ensure that, yes, we are doing on the right way. So Agile for me is a mindset. It actually tells you what to do. Mm-hmm. It is a way of work. It's not it's not a set of rules. It's kind of like a philosophy. Yeah. It's a set, way of work. It's not a framework or something, say, this is exactly what you have to do. Like Scrum is a framework, that's fine, but Agile is not a framework. For me, it's a mindset which tells you what to prefer. Like it's a collection of values and principles. We have 4 values and 12 principles. And it was written mainly for software development. But if you ask me, I feel that, essence in my personal life as well. So it's not only software or tech, it's actually everywhere. That, you do things, a little bit at a time. And I give this example to everyone. In our life, we are practicing Agile. In Nepal, Bangladesh, we are practicing Agile from the childhood. Can you guess where?
So we're learning small things every day and like going on that.
Like our schooling system. Yeah. They don't give us the, college certificate or the day one.
Oh, they're just
so they have a year by year progress, right? So we are, progressing year by year. Again, when you have a yearly plan, we are not heading to the final exam on the day one. Yeah. We are learning something new. Then we are having the exam. We are this is how we go. So this is actually, we call it iterative and incremental approach. We are iterating the same process every year, new class, the same way, midterm, you have, class test, midterm, then you have finals, then you have a grade, then you move to next class. So it's the same process that we are following iteratively. But you are in grade 1, next year will be in grade 2. So that's incremental. So this is what Agile all about, that we take a different approach than traditionally how we do works. Like we want to do everything together. We take a different approach, do it small at a time and get it done. But I'm not going to the actual Agile thing, the manifesto thing, because that's too technical, too focused on software development. Sure. But I'm just giving you an idea like how we are Agile in our real life. Now, if you want to be Agile, other than your work, like you can be Agile with your personal life, your education, everything. I believe we are in school, we are in college. We face this situation many times. Before the exam night, we are trying to read everything and we don't have enough time. Now, for some people it works, for some people it doesn't.
Works for me.
Yeah. So what if it doesn't work? So why are we taking the pressure at the very end? Why don't we read little by little every day? You don't have to read everything at the day one. Why don't you read little by little every day? And then when the final thing comes up, we already know what you have to study, and we already have gone through that. So we'll be well prepared. So in our day-to-day work, it's same thing. We always try to do the things at the very last moment. So Agile is kind of like gives you, if you apply agility in your personal life, you can have a visibility
on what's going on.
Yeah. And that's why I believe in personal agility as well. Like even if you take everything out of your, technical jargons, you can still apply agility in your personal life. Like teach your kids, your family can run on Agile, your household can run on Agile, your school can run on Agile, your company, like if you have a non-tech company, like this production company, it can also run in Agile. It doesn't have to be software related or tech related. It's just the mindset. Other hand, if you want something very solid, like I know it's the mindset, but now how to actually get things done, because when you say mindset, there are thousands of different practice can be applied. So which one we should choose? Then we actually say that, okay, if you are a tech company or if you have some sort of time boxing where you can actually apply time boxing and say that, okay, for 1 week we are working on this. Every weekly basis or bi-weekly basis, we can plan something and work on something. If we have that flexibility, then we always recommend that, okay, let's go with Scrum. So Scrum is a framework. It's not a kind of like a process, because the difference between process and framework is that process is more fixed. Like you have to do this, do that, you cannot skip a certain step.
Yeah.
But for framework, it has some flexibility. Like you can always switch things around. Like you choose the practice. Within the framework guideline, you can choose the practice, what you want to do. Mm-hmm. So Scrum is one of the most popular framework, mainly used for software development, but it can be used in any project, if you have the right set of team. The only core thing we need to ensure that we have a cross-functional team. Like we have all the people that we need to build the project or the product in a part of the team. Like if you're a software company, you have a engineering team, like who's focusing, like the developers in a Scrum team, quality assurance engineer in another team, designer in another team, then it's not the cross-functional team. So we need to build cross-functional team, and that makes Scrum work better. So right now in the world, Scrum is the most popular one, and that's why people are kind of like crazy for the Scrum certification. And the certification is popular as well. So, people are more interested in getting certification than learning it.
Yeah, true. And also I see the tendency of like trying to be 100% Scrum compliant, like trying to implement each and everything on that's written in Scrum, and like the framework says.
Yeah.
But do you really think it's like really possible to do that?
Now, there are some rules. For example, we have 3 accountabilities. We have 3 artifacts and 5 events or rituals. You cannot play with those. Those are fixed. Now, say previously, Scrum Guide used to be prescriptive. They used to tell you everything, like, okay, in the daily stand-up, you have to ask 3 questions, what you did last 24 hours before this meeting, what you are planning to do till the next meeting, and is there any problem? So that was kind of like prescription. They are telling us what to do. The current Scrum Guide actually took that out. They said that, okay, daily Scrum meeting will be 15 minutes meeting where team will discuss. Now, how to do the discussion is up to the team. Now, whether you want to have a discussion, sitting, having coffee, or standing, is up to you.
According to the team.
So that's actually what the current Scrum Guide says. So it removed all those prescription and tried to be generalized. Now, the question is that, can I omit something? Say I'm a Scrum team. Now, I do not want to do the, say, retrospective. That's not allowed.
Okay.
You have to do that. Now, should I do it, say, for 4 hours? That's the, for retrospective, it's actually 3 hours for 1 month. So you decide how much you want to do. It's a 30-minute retrospective, fine. You don't have to do it for 3 hours. It's completely up to the team. And it's more of like a guidebook right now for Scrum Guide. It's like there are some rules, there are some practices that we follow, but how to play the game. Like it's a football game, like you are a coach, whether you are playing 4-4-2 or 4-3-3 or 4-1-2-1, it's completely up to the coach. It's up to the team how they decide to play it. But there are some rules. There cannot be more than 11 players. Yeah. So these are the rules you have to follow, like 3 accountabilities, product owners, Scrum Master, developers. We have 5 events, daily Scrum. We have sprint planning, review and retrospective, and we have the artifacts like product backlog, sprint backlog, and the increment. So as long as you maintain this, I think you are fine.
So as you said, like there are some sets of rules that you can omit, but you still have some flexibility that play around according to your team type and like what the project is around.
True. Like for example, for me, I always prefer 2-week long sprint.
Yeah.
Below that, I feel uncomfortable. That's been the case for me for last 12, 13 years. But I've seen many teams prefer 4 weeks long sprint or 1 week long sprint. So it's up to them. For me, 4 weeks is actually too much. It gives you kind of like waterfall thing. Things actually happen at the very end. So it's up to the team.
So 4 weeks sprint is like waterfall in chunks.
Yeah. And that's actually what people do. People think like they're doing agile, but actually they're doing mini waterfall. We call it like waterfall in smaller chunk. That's not going to help.
Yeah. So it's we are going back to the same thing that actually wanted to be needs to be removed to be agile.
True.
Right. So so on the other hand, like we have been hearing a lot about management 3.0.
Yep.
Like, but what exactly is management 3.0? Like, was there a 2.0? Like, was there a 1.0?
We actually get the question a lot. So there is actually no management 2.0 or management 1.0. Yeah, we say in our class that, this is actually what management 1.0, like in previous, say 100 years back, we thought, or we used to think people as a parts. Like what happens, say your car parts broke. Say you have lost your rear brake. You'll replace it, right?
Yeah.
So in management 1.0 concept, we used to believe that everyone is replaceable. Like people things are not working, let's replace them. In management 2.0, the concept came like, we need, self-managed team or self-organized team with servant leadership. But still, we do want to keep the hierarchy. We do not want the hierarchy to go. So that means there is a command and control, but still we tell them like, okay, be self-managed. How is it possible? If you are self-organized and you're still controlled by others. So that's what you call management 2.0. Now, management 3.0 has a concept, interesting concept, manage the system, not the people. Like as a typically manager, what we do, manage people. Management 3.0 says that manage the system, not the people. So people can manage themselves. You need to manage the system. And there's another saying in management 3.0, better management with lesser managers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually the beauty of management 3.0. It's a very simple concept. It's nothing rocket science, not kind of like, very complicated. Or it's a very simple thing how to make things better.
Mm-hmm.
And we do this management 3.0 training with lots of activities like games, interactive activities, and the learning is really amazing. And people discover that, okay, this we didn't know. Yeah, we understand this this way, but this is can be done simplified way or transparent way that we don't know. Just to give you one example that we teach this in management 3.0. In many companies, they actually allow employees to decide how many leaves they want to take.
Okay.
So what will happen if we apply this in our part of the world?
It's complicated.
It's complicated. Right? People will think like, we are going to, people will be abusing the system. They will take more leaves. The real data shows that when they applied this rule, people actually took less leaves than usual.
Okay.
Because somewhere in their mind, they have this feeling like, I have an open holiday policy.
I can take whenever I want.
I can take whenever I want to take. So why, if I don't need it, why should I take it? Like when you have a fixed day, say 15 or 20 days or 30 days leave, and you can't, transfer it for next year. So you have to take the leave. So even if you don't need it, you will take it. So these are the changes that are actually happening around the world with some small practices that empowering the team members, empowering the team to actually take the decision rather than all the decision is coming from top down. It is actually across the board. People are taking decision on behalf of the management. So that's actually the beauty of management 3.0. Though I teach only 1 or 2 classes a year, but I really love that subject.
So, have you been implementing this in our team?
We are always doing that. So we use practices like kudo card. Like when someone do something, we appreciate openly. We reward our people not based on the output, rather than we actually reward. We have a reward mechanism, like how we calculate the rewards and everything. And we believe on, like, there are lots of practice in management 3.0, especially like how to interview people, how to come up with the motivation factor, what motivates them. So we try to actually work on that. So I try to practice, not everything, but yeah, some of the practices in my teams and organization is there.
So on the same hand, like you say you work in the US and build a team in Bangladesh, but you are somewhere in between, like US and Bangladesh, traveling somewhere. Like, how do you manage a team in Bangladesh, like traveling all around the world?
That's actually, I'm lucky to have some people who can work remotely. So another funny thing is, like, we don't have any office in Bangladesh. Really? So everyone is remote. And we do not have a plan to actually take an office, maybe at least not this year. I'm trying to actually push for an office, but management is not ready. They says like, okay, remote is working fine, so let's continue with remote. So these people are very well organized. They're self-managed, and that's actually one of our job requirements. I always write when I post for new recruits that you have to have a clear understanding of self-management. Like, if I have to push you to get things done, if I have to call you and know where you are, it's not going to happen. So you have to be proactive on that particular part. So for me, the work ways is that team works their own way. If I need something, I communicate with them one-to-one or within the team. So we are always communicating through our channel like Slack or Teams, Microsoft Teams we have. And for them, there is one mandatory meeting that they will attend every day with me. We call it daily discussion meeting. Other than our daily Scrum meeting, that's the one meeting we have. And that is a 1 hour, 1.5 hour meeting every day with the whole engineering team with me. So we discuss the problems, the features, the architecture, any issues, any suggestion. We discuss openly over there. And that happens every day.
So are you managing a product or like you are managing services?
We are actually building a product at this moment.
Oh, okay.
So we're building a new product is related to like, we're building something like Uber Eats, but not for delivery. We are actually building something for the restaurants. Like when you walk into a restaurant, how do you actually order it? How do you actually pay? So that application we are actually building right now. And yeah, so far going great.
So you have a very long history of working in this industry. Like you started with a very traditional approach, and like you are now currently leading a team that's remote first, not a office first team. Like how did you make sure that the remote first thing goes pretty well, and like how they are managed on their own?
I think it's nothing to hide. Actually, in this part of the world, that's one of the tough thing.
Yeah.
I also get this thing like I have engineers who are like, say, female. They are working from their home, and they have some home duty as well. Like you have to cook something, the guest is here, so you have to prepare. I used to get that a lot. And I asked them the same thing, like, if you are in office, then what would you have done? Can you leave office and do the things? And they're like, no. I was like, then treat that way. Keep something for the family. Keep some separate time for the team. And one thing that I always ensure that I do not decide the office hours. So we also have an open office hours. So team decide when they want to work. As I told you, like from 2:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. that's booked for me. That they have to attend. That's a fixed meeting time. Other than that, they will decide how they want to work, when they want to work. The only restriction that we provided is that when you are working with a team, make sure you are synchronizing with the team. So if you are working in the morning and your remaining team members working in the night, it doesn't make sense. So all the team members has to synchronize. And if they decide on a common time, they can work on it. So we ensured that. So that actually helped. And again, we also had some bad experience as well. Not all people are, happy with the remote first approach, or they are not well managed, self-managed. We had some problems. So we had to actually tell them like, okay, this is not matching. So I think we should be parting away.
Yeah. So instead of like closing your hands and like making restrictions, you like open your hands and like
so
lift them.
that's the empowerment. I always believe in that. I used to do some estimation as well. Like since that actually kicks in automatically if you're a software engineer. Like when you see a feature, you know how long it's going to take. So I used to actually do the estimation myself. And then I take the estimation from team. And what I saw that when I give an estimation to the team, they used to take it seriously. Like even though they can't make it happen, they used to make sure like, yeah, since I told them, they will make it happen anyhow. So then I stopped doing that. Now our approach is that team provides estimation. I do not add any buffer or anything. We just share it with the management. Like, okay, the product team knows. If team says it's 10 days, product team will also know it's a 10 days.
10 days.
So I'm not adding any buffer or anything, because if we can't make within 10 days, that's fine. As I told you, failure is fine.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's up to the team. But if I give them 5 days for a 10 days work, they will work maybe day and night to make it happen, but that's not good for productivity and also for team health.
And also for the quality of
quality of the work. So everything. So I think in last 6 months, we improved a lot when we have, empowered the team members. And now, honestly, I do not have to think about anything. Teams are discussing. I give them idea like what we are going to do, and they discuss. They come up with the architecture. They get it verified through me. If I have some input, they listen to it. If they have something, I listen to it. And this is how it's actually going. And so far, whatever we have achieved in last 1 year is actually amazing, because honestly, our management thought like it will be taking at least 2 years to get these things done. But our productivity has been so good, and people are actually happy to be part of it.
So now I understand how you can manage to travel all around the world and still like be leading a team. Like, thank you for your wonderful insights. And I hope like a lot of companies can take inspiration from that, and also be a more of a open approach to everything, and even the human resources. And like, do you have anything like that you want to tell to the audience of the Nepal? Like, you have been sharing all of your thoughts for a very long time, for a very long years, and like, but still, like, do you have anything else as your last word for the audience?
So two advice: one for the company people, one for the tech community or people who wants to come to this career. For the company owners, don't take software engineering as a 9-to-5 job. That doesn't mean that you will be actually hiring for 9 to 5, but push them to work till midnight. No, let them team decide when they want to work, how they want to work. Just give them the right environment. They will grow, and they will actually become better resource that way. And for the young people who wants to come into this career, it's an amazing career, because if you ask me if I was working in a bank or in a multinational company, definitely I wouldn't have been traveling this way. That's my dream, like, meet new people, learn new things. Also the food from the countries. Yeah. I love that. So culture, people, and I also love photography. So that actually gives me wings. And I think we work to live a decent life. It's not about earning money. It's about your own inner peace. So once you have a lifestyle that suits your, way of thinking, like you can travel around the world, still working. You don't have to worry that, okay, I have to go to office because the whole world is my office. I can work from anywhere. Then I think the tech profession is really amazing. The opportunity is huge. Millions of openings around the world. People are looking for tech resources, whether you are a programmer, technical writer, quality assurance engineer, DevOps. We have thousands of openings. Even like in US, I think at this moment they have deficit of few million. Europe, 5 or 10 million.
Yeah.
So there are tons of opportunities. So local companies are growing, amazing companies in Nepal. I'm really happy with the growth of the IT companies in Nepal. And in future, maybe Bangladesh and Nepal can collaborate on lots of things, because I believe there are certain skill gaps in Bangladesh as well as Nepal. So if we can fill each other void, that will be amazing. And this is actually what we are going to work on as a community leader, to actually bring them together and see how we can actually do. But for every listener who are young and aspirant to become an engineer, do the hard work. There is no shortcut. But again, if you are into this beautiful career, welcome. Yeah, there will be pressure initially. Like when I started my career, I had lots of pressure, but look at me after 19 years. Yeah, I'm relaxing. So hopefully it will be rewarding, and the tech world is really beautiful. You're learning lots of new things, and you're impacting people life by writing few lines of code or maybe few thousand lines of code. That's an amazing feeling.
And that's very beautiful inspiration from your side. Thank you very much, Mizanur, for being with us in a very like short notice. And I know, and I have a lot of things to talk with you, like probably, but we are probably going to keep that for next time you're in Nepal. And since you have a flight tomorrow, I hope you all like safe travels, and like hope to see you again in Nepal, or maybe I can come to Bangladesh for the next.
Yeah, we are actually waiting for you guys to come to Bangladesh. So we have a regional coming. Hopefully there will be no pandemic or COVID outbreak in next 2 months. So if everything goes fine, then we are hosting Regional Scrum Gathering Dhaka in July 1st and 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
So I invite you all to be part of it, because maybe that's one way to actually visit our beautiful country. So we don't have mountains like you guys, but yeah, we have some nice rivers and greens, especially tea gardens and everything. And yeah, we have lots of fish. That's what I heard from Nepali people. They love the Bangladeshi fishes. So.
Yes, I love fish.
So welcome to Bangladesh, everyone. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you around.
Thank you very much, Mizanur. So with that, we'd like to end this particular episode. Thank you once again. And
thank you very much.
Yeah, to the audience, thank you for listening till this end. I'm your host, Ravi Mandal, Director of Engineering at TechKraft. And if you like our content, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And hope to see you once again in the next episode. And until then, have a great time. Bye-bye.